I'm joined by the game's executive producer, Ulf, who's here. Oh, I'm not. That's wrong. I'm here with Mark and Haralder. Yeah. Guys, thank you so much for coming by. Mutant Year Zero, Road to Eden, is a lot of words. And I think a lot of people see this and they're like, this is a brand new thing. This is based on a 30-year-old RPG.
That's correct. It's based upon a RPG pen and paper book that was released in the mid-80s. And it's seen a bit of a revival because it's been reprinted in English, and it's been sent around different countries and around the world. So yeah, it's become quite a popular thing, and we were lucky enough to get the rights to make the video game based upon.
Yeah, actually, it's amazing that this IP was able to survive 30 years without getting turned into a video game. But when we knocked on the IP owner's door, they not only made it happen, then they invested in the game and stick with us through thick and thin.
That's wonderful. I mean, the cool thing about having an RPG that's been around for 30 years is you've had people playing it and effectively kind of like doing a dry run and sort of play testing it before you even build the game. And you've turned it into a really interesting game where it's real-time exploration and recon and then like turn-based tactical combat.
That's true.
Sign my ass up!
The game sort of to bring the best out of that world, and having it as a purebred turn-based game just didn't cut it. So we kind of implemented the different elements of the game, bringing people from IO like Mark and Lee Barley that have loads of years and making Hitman, bringing the stealth element into the game, which sort of bridges from free exploration into turn-based, just made the whole thing click.
Well, I mean, the gameplay of something like, you know, XCOM Enemy Unknown is really addictive, and I know a lot of people are really into that. But that level of the stealth and exploration is a really nice added touch.
Yeah.
How is the world structured exactly? Is it like sort of separate environments, or is it one big?
There's separate environments connected together, so it forms a world.
Okay,
but they're definitely in sections and separated by loading periods, right? So, but you can approach anything you want in any kind of way you would like to choose. So you can go in for a stealthy approach. You can go in for all guns blazing. Everything can be handled uniquely by the player.
Our way was sort of to take the craftsmanship of game development, and instead of sort of focus on getting the game to be crafted. So we have
what do you
every
think about this so far?
Level.
We just found this randomly. This was not a planned reaction.
No, I don't know what to think of this, to be honest with you.
And not in seeing new,
I don't want the stealth to be like overpowering in the game.
Every time you load the game.
Well,
yeah.
How do you feel about
this the setting itself,
RTS battle?
This is my first
I don't know
question
how I
is,
feel
why
about
are there
that.
talking animals?
It's actually based upon an expansion for the pen and paper RPG, where they have anthropomorphic human or mutant animals, we would call them, and they're interesting characters. And that's actually one of the things we wanted to do, was have some very interesting and more unique characters to explore the world of Mutant Year Zero with.
So the setting itself, like what happens? Something goes horribly wrong, and it's a dystopia. Like, give me a little context here.
It's kind of a post-human era. A lot of bad things have happened in a relatively short period of time, and we're sort of recouping after that. The boundary between men and animals have disappeared, and we have humans and animals, and then we have something in between called the mutants.
I'm really into that. There's something like, I love this sort of the tactical sort of guns versus aliens approach of XCOM, but then to have like something that's still very like, it's very gritty and there's a lot of kind of dark stuff going on, but then you've got a duck named Dux.
Yeah.
How much character creation is there and customization?
You don't create bespoke characters, but there are a lot of mutations and things that you can swap around for the characters. So as you play through the game, you'll unlock. Of course, you can buy weapons and add-ons for your weapons and that kind of stuff, but you also unlock mutations, which you can. There's a mutation tree, which you can actually pick and choose mutations, so your characters will evolve depending on the kind of enemies you encounter in the world.
Okay. Could you give me like a few examples of sort of the mutations and their tactical advantages?
Okay. Well, we've got such mutations as stone skin, where you can turn your skin into stone, and you can take a lot of damage from enemies, or you can absorb it.
Rock leap is one where you can actually leap from one part of the level to another and sort of get tactical advantages. You have moth wings where you can sort of fly up for high cover advantages.
Here's the thing, though, dude. I think I'd really like this.
Yeah, I don't know what to think.
This to me feels kind of like it'd be a chill game. Like not a simple game, but it just feels like one, you know, like you don't have to when you're playing.
The more I watch, the better it looks. If that makes sense.
The more it's kind of appealing to you, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I'm gonna like day one it with RTS battles like that, where you like move and shoot and stuff.
Well,
I just don't know if that's for me, but if it's for you, this might actually be really good.
I love turn-based combat like that.
If you do like games like that, then this really could be a game for you. This actually looks fairly good.
You can recruit on top of that.
Love the
like
absolutely love
do they kind of
turn-based
interact with each other
combat,
relationship-wise?
and
Like,
I love the setting and the atmosphere.
Setting is good.
The story.
Even this like walk through the woods at night is
very
really cool.
It is, yeah, it's nice.
So the interaction between the two main characters, which is the duck and the bull, is like the essence of the game, but the additional characters can lead the game and drive the story. Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, what's going on in the story? We know that it's a sort of post-human world, but
yeah, it's set sometime after the end of the human race. The world's seen a few disasters. I mean, the game will explain this. I don't want to spoil the game. Of course, that's not a good idea at this stage. No one's been playing it.
I don't want to know the ending, but you know.
Well, humanity has been wiped out by a number of different disasters. Nuclear war, and also a plague that swept, before that, a plague swept the world, which took out about 75% of the population. And, yeah, then the world is kind of a destroyed Earth. It is post-apocalyptic, but a little bit different because we've got the mutants now involved in this, not zombies and the usual stuff.
In short, it's kind of the mutants come from a trip. The guy that runs the Ark, which is sort of the last remaining sort of stronghold of the
I don't like how you can't see your character very well. Oh, there, a little better.
And you've been
but how do you know where
find him?
It's hard to tell the environment
behind that.
With that.
Now, are there any like civilizations, or are there like towns or sort of non-combat areas?
Well, the mutants they have a place, their stronghold. It's like a village really. That's called the Ark. And that's where they're safe, because they live in an area, well, a part of the world is called the Zone, which is what the mutants refer to as the world outside of their natural sort of safe place, which is the Ark. The Ark is like a converted bridge. It's like a bridge they've built like a little bit like a sort of barter town kind of feel going on with there, right? And they're safe in this, and that's their village. That's where their elder lives, and that's where they go back after a day's stalking.
That was cool.
Collecting resources for the Ark.
Okay, so is that that's your hub world type of thing? Or
yes,
okay.
it's kind of the hub. You can go in there and you can buy items and you can hear rumors and get missions, this kind of stuff.
All right, and how in terms of the sort of the story, the missions and how that unfolds, is it fairly linear, or does it let you kind of pick and choose how you go about it?
There is a story that runs through the game. And you can follow that. There are some side missions and side areas to go and explore that are related somewhat to the main story, but there is a story from A to B to follow. Yeah.
Now, I know one thing that, and I apologize for repeatedly comparing this to XCOM. I swear that's not a bad thing. One thing people always talk about is sort of the tragedy of losing a character that you really get attached to. Do you have a system like that here?
Yeah, we will support like an Iron Man style system, so you can get really attached to a character, and then once they're gone, they're going to be gone. Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't like that at all. I don't want to.
No, but I think if you are getting attached to your XCOM characters, you're definitely gonna be really attached to ours. Yeah. That's for sure.
They're
but
like lovable animals too.
Yeah. They have their own personalities and quirks, and as you play through the game, you'll probably find a favourite in between the group, and then you'll feel even more heartbroken when you lose them, I guess.
Are there different classes for characters, or are they kind of just character based?
Well, the characters themselves, they are just sort of they're what they're called stalkers in the universe, and they're not stalkers in like a social media sense where they just follow people around. They go out and they're hunter gatherers. They go out and get food and resources for the art. The characters themselves, they have differences between them here and there, but for the most part they're pre-generated. The enemies, however, there's a lot of different types of enemies.
Boarmen and ducks. Get it? Boarmen and ducks.
Part of the game where you'll need to sort of tailor your mutations and weapons when you encounter certain enemies.
I'm going to shoot the guy in the face with a shotgun and not kill him.
Their own game, so to speak.
And how much of that reconfiguration can be done sort of on the fly?
On the fly, you can, once you've unlocked the mutations, you can swap them anytime outside of combat. And same with weapons and weapon attachments, and also party members. So if you have, at the moment when you're playing the game, you have 3 party members. In this demo, we've only got 2 unlocked at the moment. You have a maximum of 3 active, but you can have more than that.
I'm like, if that doesn't kill, seriously.
So we call it the golf bag approach. So you can just go there, recon an area, and then you can say, okay, this is I'm going to require these kind of things, and then you set up your characters accordingly.
And of course, the recon is a whole sort of component in and of itself, because that's a...
Yeah, I think the way we sort of laid out the map is that you have the exploration where you sort of
I like this a lot.
Resources and
yeah,
get for the world, and then once you can
better
come
than I
into
thought it was going to
contact
turn
with,
out to be.
Enemies, you
That's for
get the
damn
sneak
sure.
element where you sort of set up.
Looks like it plays really well.
Your parameters and you and
I think, like they're
and
saying, you know, if you're an
get into
XCOM fan,
combat
this
and
could
get into
definitely be
turn-based,
for
that's
you.
kind of when you roll your dice.
There's no
And
doubt
either
about
you
it.
Go through, or you need to rethink your approach. And I think that's the way we wanted to take this IP as a role-playing game, and rather than doing it as a turn-based sort of strategy game or a sort of
It adds
any other kind of game. We kind of wanted to sort of take this and sort of give this format as an RPG
Awesome.
kind of an experience.
It adds a wonderful wrinkle. And this is out 2019 at some point?
It's 2018.
2020?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
it's 2018. The game is out when we feel it's ready.
Okay.
But right now, that's this year.
And you're looking at PC and consoles?
Absolutely.
Wonderful. If you need to take a break, now is the time, but make it quick because we'll be back in 60 seconds with...
Jdog, I would like your thoughts on Mutant Year Zero.
Cheers.
I didn't hate
You know,
it.
I don't hate it either. And I don't really play a lot of games where the combat is...
You're not a big turn-based combat guy.
I'm not. I don't really play a lot like that. So for me to sit here and say it's great or bad is probably irrelevant because I don't have a lot of experience with those games. I think it looks good. I think it looks like it plays good. And I think if you are a gamer that has experience in those games and enjoy them, this could really be for you.
I feel like, man, I might get this when it comes out.
It's interesting. It's kind of pretty neat, you know. It's got a cool aesthetic, a great environment, kind of an interesting backstory and interesting lore to it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I honestly think this could actually be kind of a sleeper title. I really do. I haven't heard a damn thing about it, but
Now, when you say sleeper title, you don't mean having a pillow while you're playing. You mean
no, I mean
a
like
good title that flies under the radar.
a game that's flying under our radar right now, a game that I haven't heard a lot about, but that actually looks like it's relatively well polished and that actually plays well, incorporates this stealth sort of mechanic along with kind of positioning and, you know, that RTS battle system. This could actually end up being really good.
Yeah. You guys can let us know what you're thinking about Mutant Year Zero down in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed our honest, no BS reactions here and discussion at the end. You guys can subscribe to the Balding Plebs, become a plebhead, and join our family today to support our channel and everything moving forward. And you can even become a patron on Patreon. Neil?
If you've played XCOM and you watch this video, I want you to let me know what you think on whether or not you think this game is kind of in that XCOM style and what your thoughts are. So I'd like to know that from a couple of XCOM fans out there. So you guys fill us in, let us know what you think. Thank Thank you. Good night.
Say your name.
Oh, I'm Jdog.
JG, your plebs.